Welcome. I'm Barry, and today I want to talk about something simple, but it stays with you for a long time. I've seen this again and again. Two people living almost the same kind of life. Same problems, same pressure, sometimes even the same age. Still, one person feels heavy inside, tired, confused, while the other somehow keeps moving, even if things are not perfect.
That difference looks small, but it changes everything. And it's not about being lucky or having an easy life. It usually starts in the mind. Positive thinking does not mean you ignore problems or pretend to be happy. It means the way you speak to yourself when things are not working. That inner voice, it can either help you stand or slowly make you weak.
So the real struggle begins before anything actually happens? Like even before we take action, our thinking already decides how we are going to feel and behave. It sounds like the situation is not always the first problem. The reaction becomes the bigger one.
Yes, and most people don't notice when it begins. Negative thinking is not loud. It doesn't come like a warning. It starts quietly, usually as doubt. Doubt simply means you stop trusting yourself before you even try. And once that starts, it slowly affects everything you do next.
That's interesting because it feels normal in daily life. People think they are just being careful, thinking about what could go wrong. It doesn't feel like something harmful. It feels like they are preparing themselves.
That's where the problem is. There is a difference between thinking clearly and overthinking. Overthinking means your mind keeps going in circles again and again without moving toward a solution. You keep thinking, but you don't move forward. And after some time, you feel tired, even without doing anything real.
I think many people feel that. You sit there thinking about all the possible problems, and slowly your energy drops. By the time you finish thinking, you don't even feel like starting anymore. It's like the effort disappears before it even begins.
Exactly. Negative thinking works slowly. It doesn't stop you in one moment. First, there is doubt. Then fear starts growing. After that, hesitation comes. And before you realize it, you have already decided not to try. It feels like your choice, but actually, your thinking has already controlled you.
So it's not always the situation that breaks a person. It's the way they keep thinking about it again and again. That inner conversation keeps shaping their actions.
Yes, and that's why two people in the same situation can feel completely different. One keeps telling himself, I can't do this, it will go wrong. And the other says, maybe it's hard, but I will try. The situation is the same, but the direction becomes different.
And that small difference slowly becomes a big gap over time. One person moves forward, even if it's slow, and the other stays stuck, even if they had the same chance.
That's true. And this is where positive thinking starts to matter. Positive thinking does not promise success immediately. It simply gives you a chance to keep going. It helps you take one step, then another step. It keeps your effort alive.
So it's not about feeling good all the time. It's about not giving up on yourself too early.
Exactly. Because life will always have problems. That part never changes. But your perspective, the way you choose to see your situation, changes how you experience life. Perspective means how you look at things, not what the situation actually is.
That makes sense. Because sometimes nothing outside changes, but inside everything feels different. The same day can feel heavy or manageable, depending on how we think.
Yes, and that is why this matters at every age. A young person can lose confidence before even trying. An adult can feel tired and stuck in routine. An older person can look back with regret. It's not about age. It's about how long negative thinking has been controlling you.
So this is not just about success or failure. It's about how a person lives their life every day.
Yes, because negative thinking does not just make life difficult. It slowly makes the person feel smaller inside. And once that happens, even small problems start feeling too big.
Then what really changes when someone chooses to think differently, when they move toward positive thinking?
That's where everything starts shifting. Not outside immediately, but inside first. And once that changes, the way you face life slowly begins to change too. That's where everything starts shifting. Not outside immediately, but inside first. And when that inner shift happens, the same problem does not feel the same anymore. One person looks at it and feels stuck. Another looks at it and feels challenged. The situation is still there, but the experience becomes different.
So the problem stays the same, but the way a person carries it changes. That sounds simple, but it explains a lot. Because many people are not actually losing in life. They just feel like they are losing.
Yes, and that feeling builds step by step. When thinking goes in a negative direction, it follows a pattern. First comes a small thought. This might not work. Then it grows into fear. Then delay. And then no action at all. After some time, the person does not even try. It feels like a decision, but it is actually a slow mental habit.
And once that habit becomes strong, it starts affecting everything. Even small tasks begin to feel heavy. People start avoiding things that once felt normal.
Exactly. And this is where something important comes in. The word pattern. Pattern means a repeated way of thinking or acting. When your thinking follows the same negative pattern again and again, your actions also become limited. You stop exploring. You stop taking chances.
So it's like a cycle. The more you think in that way, the more you act in that way, and it keeps repeating.
Yes, and breaking that cycle is not about becoming perfect. It's about changing direction slowly. Positive thinking follows a different path. It does not remove the problem, but it changes the response. Instead of stopping completely, the person still takes small steps.
Not big steps, just enough to keep moving.
Right. And that movement creates something called consistency. Consistency means doing something again and again, even when you don't feel strong every time. It is not about high energy. It is about not stopping completely.
That feels real, because most people wait to feel ready before they start. But maybe waiting is what keeps them stuck.
That happens a lot. Let me explain it with a simple example. Imagine a young person, maybe around 20. They want to try something new, maybe a skill, maybe a job. If their thinking is negative, they start comparing themselves with others. They feel behind, and then they delay. Days pass. Nothing happens.
And slowly they begin to believe that they are not capable, even without trying properly.
Yes, but if the same person chooses a different way of thinking, not perfect thinking, just slightly better, they may still feel unsure, but they take one small step. They try once, maybe fail, but they try again. That is how direction changes.
So the difference is not confidence. The difference is action.
Exactly. And this continues in later stages of life, too. Take someone in their 30s or 40s, dealing with work pressure, family responsibility. Negative thinking can slowly turn into something heavier, like constant frustration. That long-lasting frustration is called bitterness. Bitterness means carrying silent anger inside for a long time.
And that kind of feeling changes how a person behaves with others, too. They become less patient, more reactive.
Yes, and it also affects decisions. When the mind is full of negative thoughts, choices become limited. But when thinking is more balanced, even under pressure, the person can stay steady. They may not feel happy all the time, but they don't lose control.
So it's not about removing stress. It's about handling it better.
That's right. And this becomes even more clear when people reach an older stage in life. When they look back, many don't regret only the problems. They regret not trying enough. They remember the moments where fear stopped them.
That kind of regret stays for a long time, because you can't go back and change it.
Yes, and this is where another word becomes important. Regret. Regret means feeling sad about something you did not do or something you could have done better. Positive thinking does not remove regret completely, but it reduces it. Because when you keep trying, even slowly, you feel more at peace with your choices.
So in the end, it's not just about winning or losing, it's about how you feel about your own journey.
Exactly. Positive thinking helps you stay in the journey longer. It gives you strength to continue, even when results are not clear. It does not promise success quickly, but it increases your chances because you don't stop early.
That changes the whole meaning of success. It's not only about reaching somewhere, it's also about how you keep moving.
Yes, and that is the key point. Negative thinking closes doors before you even reach them. Positive thinking keeps those doors open a little longer. And sometimes, that small difference is enough to change the whole direction of a life.
Then what does a person really gain from this in the long run, if life still remains difficult in many ways?
That answer goes deeper than success, because after a point, people don't only care about results. They start caring about how they feel while living their life. You can have achievements and still feel empty inside. And you can also have a simple life, but feel calm. Positive thinking slowly moves you toward that calm state.
So it's not only about reaching a goal, it's also about what kind of person you become while moving toward it. Because if the inside feels heavy all the time, even success may not feel enough.
Yes, and this is where something important comes in. The idea of inner peace. Inner peace means a stable and quiet feeling inside you, even when life is not perfect. It does not mean everything is going well outside. It means you are not falling apart inside every time something goes wrong.
That sounds rare, because most people feel calm only when everything is under control. The moment something changes, their mood also changes.
That's true, and that's why positive thinking matters. It helps you stay a little more steady. It does not remove problems, but it changes how you face them. You still feel stress, you still feel pressure, but you don't lose yourself in it.
And I think that also affects effort. When your mind is in a better place, you don't stop easily. Even if things are slow, you continue.
Exactly. Positive thinking protects your effort. It keeps it alive. Negative thinking slowly weakens it. Before failure even arrives, your energy drops. That is why many people stop halfway, not because they cannot do it, but because they feel they cannot.
So in a way, thinking decides how long you stay in the game. Not talent, not luck, but how long you keep going.
Yes, and staying in the game matters more than people think, because life is not one moment, it is a long journey. And over time, small actions become big results. This is where another word becomes important: growth. Growth means slow improvement over time, even if it is not visible every day.
That makes sense, because many people look for fast change. When they don't see quick results, they lose hope. But maybe real change is always slow.
It usually is, and positive thinking helps you accept that slow process. It teaches you patience without making you stop. You keep moving, even if progress is small, and that builds something stronger than quick success.
And what about later in life, when people look back? Does this way of thinking still matter?
It matters even more. When people reach the later stage of life, they don't remember every detail. They remember how they felt. They remember if they tried, if they stayed true to themselves, or if they gave up too early. Positive thinking reduces that heavy feeling of regret.
Because they know they did not stop themselves from trying.
Yes, they may not have everything they wanted, but they feel lighter inside. They accept their journey. And acceptance is a powerful thing. Acceptance means understanding your life without constant resistance, without fighting every moment in your mind.
That sounds peaceful, in a way that success alone cannot give.
Exactly. Because in the end, life is not only about what you achieve, it's about how you experience it. Positive thinking does not promise a perfect life. It gives you a better way to live an imperfect one. It keeps your mind softer, your effort alive, and your direction clear.
I think that's something people need to hear, especially when they feel stuck. Because sometimes they are not as far behind as they think. They just need to change how they see things.
Yes, and that change does not happen in one day. It starts with small awareness. The next time you feel doubt, just notice it. The next time you feel like giving up, pause for a moment. That small pause can change your next step.
And that next step can slowly change your path.
Exactly. You don't need to become a different person overnight. You just need to stay with yourself. Support yourself a little more. Over time, that becomes your strength.
So maybe the real message is simple. Life will stay challenging, but the way you carry it can change. And that change begins in your own mind.
Yes, and once that begins, everything else slowly follows.
Thank you for staying with us till the end. This was a quiet but important conversation. If something here made you think, take a moment and reflect on it. And if you found value in this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us bring more real conversations like this to you.
And if you have ever felt this difference in your own life, between negative and positive thinking, share your experience. Sometimes your story can help someone else take their first step.
Take care, and we'll see you in the